The little gem that applies today is you can't build back better if you can't build at all. And I've heard Senator Capito say that again and again, and I think that's absolutely right. What we're finding is, according to the Congressional Research Service, NEPA is the most frequently litigated federal environmental statute. And I think that when something stands out as the most litigated environmental statute, there must be something that we can do to change that, to improve NEPA. NEPA reform it doesn't mean NEPA degradation. I think it really can mean just improvement. So litigation is not the go-to response to a NEPA process. So I might ask you, Mr. Timmons, should litigation and be part of the conversation here going forward?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. Yes, litigation and a time limit on litigation, I think, is very much part of the process. You mentioned a CEQ study on how often NEPA was sued. It is in the court quite a bit. Public interest groups, 175 suits, individuals, citizen associations, 95, property owners, 15, state and local governments, 48. Business groups really only sued NEPA about 12% of the time during that process. I do think, and I want to acknowledge Ms. Johnson's testimony and comments, because I do think it's very important for businesses, local governments, citizens to work together early in the process to smooth out any concerns that exist. At the National Association of Manufacturers, we've engaged in a relationship with Matthew Tejada, who you know is the head of the EPA's Office of Environmental Justice. He is working on processes to put processes in place to really enhance those conversations. That information we had Matthew present to our Council of Manufacturing Associations, which represents 260 manufacturing associations, because we know that, as Chairman Carper said, if it's not perfect, let's figure out how to make it better. All of these processes can be made better. And I think good points have been made across the board from the witnesses today. But there is a definite issue when it comes to litigation, and whether that's in communities of color, agricultural communities, economically disadvantaged communities like the one that I was raised in Ohio, in Appalachian communities. Those issues do exist, but we can streamline the process. We can streamline the review process, and we can certainly streamline and put a shot clock, if you will, on the legal challenges that exist.
Thank you. Mr. Durbin, if Congress doesn't act to fix this broken environmental review and permitting process, and I really believe it's broken, will there be more manufacturing and energy production abroad?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I mean, I think when it comes to energy and manufacturing, if it isn't done here, it is going to be done somewhere else. So one of the advantages of having, whether it's energy production or manufacturing down here, is that we do have robust environmental statutes. We do operate in a clean, responsible, and effective way, and again, without improving the process here, we're not getting at what I call the three core objectives, which is our economic competitiveness, our energy security, and a transition to a cleaner economy.
And global emissions are global.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.